Thank you very much, and once again, welcome to Cadence Media TV, where we always tell African stories the African way. We believe in Africa, and we believe that Africa can be able to compete with all other continents in the world because we have the resources, we have the knowledge, we have the know-how, and we believe that if we can tell Africa stories the best way possible, then we can inspire and transform Africa to be the best continent in the world. So our whole idea of this YouTube channel and everything that we are doing is try to depict Africa in a better way. We know that there are stories that have been told about Africa, about the corruption which is in Africa, which we do not deny, by the way. About the destitute in Africa, the poverty levels in Africa, which some of all these stories are true stories. But if we dedicate ourselves to telling their stories that are of a negative nature, then we might not be doing justice to Africa, because in the same continent we have minerals that are being mined in Africa. We have education system, one of the best education system in Africa. We have very rich countries like the South Africa, which is one of the richest country in Africa, the likes of Nigeria, the most populous country in Africa, and yet one of the best doing economy in Africa, and so many other stories of inspiration that we keep telling again and again here at Kenben's Media TV, to ensure that as long as we are going to hear negative stories about Africa, then we can also tell positive stories about Africa, so that we can depict Africa as one of the best continents. We are not saying that Africa is the best continent, but we know and believe that we can be the best if we can continue telling African stories the African way, and if we can continue depicting Africa as one of the best continents in the world. Today we want to focus on education. Education is one of the tools that can be used to change Africa, and one of the tools that has been employed by other continents in order to ensure that the other continent stands out in the whole world. You'll bear with me, or you agree with me, that without education, then there is very big possibility that Africa will never become a better continent. The likes of the countries like Canada today, the United States of America, if you go to Europe and even India, and even most of the countries in Asia, including Australia, these are some of the countries that have stood out to be one of the best countries in the world. And if you look at their education system, you will realize that they have one of the best education system in the world. And so education is one of the tools that Africa can use in order for it to be one of the best continents in the world. In our country, Kenya, here we have seen a change of our education system. For the last 36 years, we were using the 844 system, where people or a student would go to a primary school for 8 years, then go for a secondary school for 4 years, and then go for university for 4 good years. And that is why it was called as 844. That is 8 years in primary, 4 years in secondary, 4 years in university. But since last year, we have seen the change of our curriculum. We are now using CBC. The CBC is the competent based curriculum. And a curriculum that has come with a lot of challenges. There are so many parents who are saying that the education system is very expensive for them, that the children are requiring so much, and there is so much that is needed, including the participation of a parent. And most of the parents are not so free to be able to engage themselves in doing homework and assignments and all that, and including paying a lot of money for the CBC. And the government has already decided that this is the way that we are going to go. And for the next few decades, maybe this is the system that is going to be used here in our country. We have also seen that there's some reduction of years in university from 4 years, initially from 4 years to now 3 years, and we are yet to see how they are going to implement this at the university level. And so today I want us to talk about the university education. The university education in Africa is very, very important, and so many people who go or who are able to get the university education, most of them, they do well in their own lives. That there is a tremendous change when you compare people who have gone to university and those who have not gone to university. So the university education becomes very paramount in Africa, and it is very, very vital for every student to be able to go to a university. Today, as it stands, the university education here in Kenya is costing around 500,000 Kenya cedis for a bachelor's degree, and around 300 or 400,000 for a master's degree. A PhD is costing you around 600,000. That is tuition money. But if you include the money for project and all the other money that is required for you to complete a PhD, it is going up to allowed 1 million Kenya cedis. That is in Kenya. Now, I want us to focus on how many other countries outside of Africa that offer better education system or better university education system with the minimum cost. Or if you were to do your own research on which country that you can take your child to in order for him or her to go and get a good university education, which are some of the countries that you may consider that are giving you value for your money, and then they're also giving you good education system for your child. You realize that as much as the education system or education, university education in Kenya is very high in terms of cost, there are other countries outside Africa or inside Africa that can give you value for your money, and that can give you a minimum amount for you to pay in order for your child to be able to get a university education. We are talking about university education because Africa, we are lagging behind still in terms of our universities. If you look at the most cheapest university in Africa, number 1 to around number 5 are all of them in one country, and that is in South Africa. We will be doing another video to tell you on how much you pay in a university in Africa, especially in South Africa. We will give you the details on which is the cheapest university in Africa and which is the best university in Africa. But for now, we want to focus on how many countries, or which is the best country that you can go outside Africa and be able to get a good education system, as well as the cheapest, in a cheaper way, in order for you to get the degree that you may want, or you may want your child to get. After your child now graduates from the Form 4, for those who are still in the system that was still there, the 844 system, if you do not have the money to take him to Nairobi University, Mount Kenya University, Kenyatta University, or other universities in our country, which other countries can you be able to venture into and go and take your child there in order for him or her to get the education that he may need? So we are going to look at the 10 cheapest countries around the world, and we're also going to focus on how much money would you pay for a degree in those countries, and how much money would it cost you as a living cost in those countries. So we are going to look at the number one country that you can take your child to in order for him or her to get the best quality education in a cheap way. The number 1 stands to be Norway, the country of Norway. This is a country in Europe. It's a country in Europe, and this is the number 1 country that you can take your child for a university education. In Norway, as it stands, the university, they don't pay anything. That as compared on how we are here in Kenya in primary school, most of the parents, they do not pay anything for their children to go to primary school, especially the public schools. In Norway, it goes to a notch higher, and they give university education free, and it's free for everyone, whether you are a foreigner in that country or you are a native in that country. they do not charge anything for university education. Now, if they were to charge, they were to charge very, very, very little. So anyone who would want to go study for free in Norway. Norway is one of the best countries that you can go and study. The living cost in Norway is a bit higher compared to some other countries, and maybe this is the reason why most people would not want to go to Norway. The Norway living cost is going up to 17,200 United States of America dollar, that is USD, which is amounting to around 1.7 million Kenyan shillings per year here in the country. The education is free, but the cost of living in Norway is a bit high, with around 1.7 million Kenyan shillings each and every year. This is an amount that most people would be able to get, especially here in our country, Kenya. For those who are thinking of taking their children out of this country to go and to go abroad for a higher education, Norway would be one of the countries to consider, and this is one of the cheapest country for anyone to go and get a degree. Then the other country, the number 2 country, is a country that most people would not even think about, and this is Taiwan. Taiwan is a small country in Asia, just below China. That is where, just below Japan, that is where you get Taiwan. It's in China, and in Taiwan, a graduate degree is costing around 3,300 USD per year, which is amounting to around 330,000 Kenyan shillings. If you can convert that with Kenyan shillings, that is around 330,000 Kenyan shillings, and the living cost of Taiwan is going to around 290,000 Kenyan shillings, and we are talking about per year. One of the best thing about Taiwan is that they offer more than 40 universities courses, more than 120 courses in English. So you are less assured that if you go to Taiwan, you will not be compelled to know their local language in order for you to study a degree there. They are offering almost 120 courses which they teach in the language of English. And then the amount that you have to pay per month to live in Taiwan is allowed to 24,000 Kenyan shillings, and if you compare that with Kenya, it's like paying rent in some places like Umoja, 2-bedroom house going for around 24,000. If you go to other suburbs, which are a little bit leafy, we can say they are almost charging at the same rate, 24,000. So with 24,000 Kenyan shillings, you are less assured that your son or daughter will be able to live comfortably in Taiwan and also be able to get a good quality education. Then number 3, the other country that you can think of taking your child to is the country of Germany. Germany is one of the countries that is giving good quality education, as well as with minimum amount that you have to pay, compared to some of the universities here in Kenya that you have to pay a lot of money. One university here in Kenya, they charge around 60,000 per semester. Per semester, that tells you that if it is a tri-semester, it's 180,000 per year. If it is 2 semesters, it is 120,000 per year. So compared to some of these countries like Taiwan, like Norway, which are not charging anything, then you can consider going to Germany, you can consider going to Taiwan, you can consider going to Norway. Germany stands at number 3, and here they offer free undergraduate education, and this means that if you are doing a bachelor's degree in Germany, you have to pay absolutely nothing. The cost of living in Germany is a bit quite high. It's going to around 2.3 million Kenyan shillings, which is around 23,450 USD. That is the living cost in Germany. allowed that amount 2.3 million Kenyan shillings. That is the country number 3 that you can go. Then the country number 4 that you can go for higher education is the country of France. France, they also charge very little amount of money. For a bachelor's degree, they are charging around 20,000 per year. That tells you that that is a small amount compared to how much we are paying here in Kenya. And the living cost in Germany is going to around it depends with the city that you are going to live. If you are going to study in Paris, it's not as it's much expensive in Paris than compared to other cities in France, maybe like Monaco and other small towns in France. So the living cost will be compared, all will depend with the kind or with the city that you are going to live in Germany. But the tuition fee that you are going to pay for a bachelor's degree, as I have said, you are going to part away with only 20,000 Kenyan shillings, and that is per year. Whether it is 2 semesters, 3 semesters, it is going to amount to around 20,000. Of course, the master's degree is also very cheap, with around 44,500 Kenyan shillings. You're going to get a master's degree per year. So a master's degree that is going for 2 years, that should be less than 100,000 for a master's degree in France. The living cost, as I have said, it depends with the town that you are going to live. In Paris is very expensive because Paris is one of the most expensive city to live in. Then number 5 is one of the country that most people would never think. This is one of the country in South America, a country that most people depict or have been made to believe that it is one of the worst countries to ever live in, and I'm talking about the country of Mexico. The country of Mexico stands at number 5. Can you believe that? That if you want to go to get a good education, one of the countries that you may consider is the country of Mexico. Today, it's believed that they have more than 30,000 foreign students who are in Mexico and who are getting their university education. In Mexico, a bachelor's degree will charge around 630,000 Kenyan shillings for a whole course for a bachelor's degree, and they also offer very good quality education. And the living cost of Mexico is not as high as most people would think, and with around 645,000 Kenyan shillings per year, you can be less assured that you are going to live comfortably in Mexico and you are going to get good education. So Mexico stands at number 5, some of the countries that you can think of going to for higher education. Then number 6 is India. India is very known, especially by our people in Africa, and especially people from Kenya. They believe so much in India. I have seen so many students who have gone to India for further education, and they have come back with the skills that is needed. One of the best thing about India is that the culture in India is the same culture that is in Kenya, having been colonized by the same colonizer that is Britain. There is so much that is similar in India when compared to Kenya, maybe a country like Nigeria. And these are some of the countries that when you take your child, or when you go to such countries where they were colonized by the same colonizers that colonized your country, you are less assured that you are not going to have much of a culture shock when you go to India. India is one of the countries that is offering the best quality education in the cheapest way, stands at number 6. The living cost there going to around 460,000 per year, and a bachelor's degree going to around 788,000 Kenyan shillings. Another country is also in South America, that is Argentina. This is the country at number 7, the country of Argentina. And it's believed that Argentina is one of the best countries that you can go for further education. They are charging around 510,000 Kenyan shillings for a bachelor's degree, and the living cost there is around 500,000 Kenyan shillings. So with 1 million, you are less assured that your child or you yourself, you're going to have a good education in Argentina. And Argentina has been considered one of the best countries, and one of the peaceful countries, especially for the foreigners, and the fact that Argentina is one of the largest countries in South America. There's a lot of tranquility in Argentina, and most of the students who go to Argentina for further education, they really enjoy the environment because it's a cool environment and the people are very, very friendly in Argentina. Argentina stands at number 7, and then the other country, we go back to Europe, the country of Poland. So many people do not know much about Poland, and Poland has not been mentioned so much in history, but it is one of the best countries that is offering the best education in the whole world, and compared to other countries, is one of the best or the cheapest country that you can go for further studies. The living cost in Poland is going to around 350,000 Kenyan shillings. That is around 3,500 United States of American dollar, the USD. And they also offer so many programs in English. They teach a lot in English. There are so many programs that you can go and do there. They teach in English. They also offer very good quality education in Poland, and Poland stands at number 8. Number 9, we go back to Asia. You have seen that from number 1 to around number 9, there is no single country in Africa that has been mentioned. That tells you that Africa offers one of the most expensive education system. And number 9, we are in Malaysia, and in Malaysia the living cost there is going to around 4,000 USD, which amounts to around 400,000 Kenyan shillings. And the living cost in Kuala Lumpur is the capital city of Malaysia, is going to around 3,500 United States of American dollar, and the tuition is about $4,000, which amounts to around 400,000. So with around 700,000, less than 1 million Kenyan shillings, then you are less assured that you can take your child to Malaysia, and your child will get one of the best education in the world. And then at number 10, this is where we find the first African country that is offering the cheapest education system, or the cheapest education in university, and that is the country of South Africa. South Africa is offering university education at an average of around 6,000 United States of American dollar. That is around 600,000 Kenyan shillings. And the living cost in South Africa is not as much as it's not as high as most people would expect, because they are charging around 915,000 Kenyan shillings, and that is less than $1 million. So with the less than 2 millions, you are less assured that your child can get a good education from South Africa, and they will come back to Kenya, or they will come back to Africa having the best education system, especially when we are talking about the university education. So those are some of the countries that you can be able to go for further education in Africa. And you've been able to see that the best country you can go in the whole world is Norway. They are offering free education system. Can you believe that? There is no tuition fee for universities. Maybe some few coins for a master's degree and for the PhD, but for a bachelor's degree, they are not charging anything for a bachelor's degree. So Norway is one of the countries to consider. The living cost in Norway, you have also been able to see, it's not as high as most people may think. With around 1.7 million, then your child or you yourself, you can be able to manage to be in Norway for a whole year. If you compare that with Kenyan education and the level of Kenyan education, especially in university, you'll be able to understand that venturing outside Africa in terms of education, then it would be one of the best things that you can ever do. We want to focus on Africa and tell the best African stories, but when it comes to education, we must expand our minds and be able to tell you stories about other countries from other continents that can give the best education system in the world. So you have been able to see how you can be able to join a university in Norway, a university in Malaysia, a university in Mexico, a university in France or even in Germany, get the best quality education that you can get, and come back to Africa and give back to your country. We will keep telling these stories again and again as a way to ensure that we depict Africa as one of the best continents in the world. Thank you very much for watching Ken Benz Media TV. This is Ken Benz Brady. We hope to see you again as we focus on the best places that you can be able to do, that you can be able to invest, whether it is the normal investment or whether it is investment in education. God bless you. See you again.